Good evening. Tonight, we turn our attention to a long-standing Senate custom that's suddenly at the center of a national controversy. This week, the Senate's blue slip tradition is under fire, drawing scrutiny from both lawmakers and the public. On December 11, 2025, former President Donald Trump publicly demanded its end, calling it a tool for partisan obstruction and accusing his opponents of using it to stall progress. Trump claims Democrats used the blue slip to block his nominees for key federal positions, stalling his efforts to shape the judiciary and leaving important seats vacant for months, sometimes even years. The blue slip allows home state senators to effectively veto judicial and U.S. attorney nominees, a power Trump says is being abused to prevent his administration from making lasting changes to the courts. For decades, this tradition has given individual senators significant influence over federal appointments in their states, often encouraging bipartisan cooperation, but also, at times, gridlock. Trump's appeal to Senate Majority Leader John Thune is a direct challenge to Senate procedure, with the potential to reshape how appointments are handled for years to come, and possibly upend the balance of power between the executive and legislative branches. With a divided Senate and high political stakes, Trump's intervention forces a public debate on power, fairness, and the future of the courts, raising questions about whether tradition should stand in the way of change. The blue slip's fate could alter the ideological balance of the judiciary and the enforcement of federal law nationwide, affecting how justice is delivered in every corner of the country. As we explore this issue, we'll examine what the blue slip is, why it matters, and what's at stake if it ends, both for the Senate and for the American people. The process for selecting federal judges and prosecutors impacts every American, shaping the laws that govern our daily lives and the rights we depend on. Trump's push is more than a procedural fight. It's a battle over the future of the federal judiciary, and a test of how much influence a president can wield over the courts. This story demands our attention, as the outcome could redefine the relationship between the White House, the Senate, and the courts for generations to come. The blue slip isn't a law, but a Senate custom dating back to the early 1900s. When the president nominates someone for a federal post in a state, the Judiciary Committee sends a blue slip to that state's senators for their opinion. If a senator withholds the slip, the nomination can be stalled or killed, giving senators major leverage. Over time, the power of the blue slip has varied, especially for circuit court nominees, but it remains strong for district judges and U.S. attorneys. This tradition forces presidents to consult with home state senators, encouraging consensus. Supporters say it leads to moderate, qualified nominees. Critics, like Trump, argue it's outdated and undemocratic, letting one senator block the will of the president and the Senate. The blue slip is a powerful check on presidential power, but also a source of gridlock. Its future is now in question. Trump's push to end the blue slip was sparked by a series of recent legal defeats for his nominees, which exposed deep divisions between the executive branch and the Senate over judicial appointments. On December 8, 2025, Alina Habba was forced to step down as U.S. Attorney in New Jersey after a federal court ruled her appointment unlawful, citing procedural violations and a lack of Senate confirmation. Just a month earlier, a federal judge in Virginia dismissed indictments against Trump's political adversaries, pointing to the improper appointment of interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, who also hadn't received the Senate's blessing. Both cases shared a common thread. The administration bypassed the traditional Senate confirmation process, and home state Democratic senators withheld their blue slips, effectively blocking the nominees. The courts made it clear that even temporary or interim appointments cannot sidestep the Senate's constitutional role, reinforcing the enduring power of the blue slip tradition and the importance of senatorial consent. These legal setbacks only deepened Trump's frustration, as he increasingly saw the blue slip as the root cause of his administration's mounting legal troubles and stalled nominations. From Trump's perspective, highly qualified nominees were being blocked not because of their credentials, but due to partisan opposition from senators who wielded the blue slip as a political weapon, and then saw their appointments invalidated by the courts. The narrative quickly took shape. Procedural technicalities and Senate traditions were being used to undermine the president's agenda and prevent his administration from filling key legal positions. In response, Trump began to publicly pressure Senate leadership, urging them to eliminate the blue slip and arguing that the tradition was outdated and unfairly obstructive. The legal defeats and the controversy surrounding the blue slip quickly made the once obscure Senate tradition a national issue, drawing attention from the media and the public alike. The blue slip's power is no longer just a matter of Senate procedure. It has become a flashpoint in the broader battle over judicial appointments, with both sides digging in for a high-stakes fight. As the debate intensifies, the stakes for the future of the federal judiciary and the balance of power in Washington have never been higher. Frustrated by a series of recent court rulings that didn't go his way, Trump turned to his favorite platform, Truth Social, to launch a pointed attack on the Senate's blue slip tradition. This long-standing practice, which allows senators to approve or block judicial nominees from their home states, has become a flashpoint in the ongoing battle over the federal courts. In a fiery post, Trump labeled the blue slip process a scam, arguing that it unfairly empowers Democrats to veto qualified Republican nominees. He insisted the tradition is not only outdated, but also unconstitutional, claiming it's been weaponized to stall conservative appointments and tip the balance of the judiciary. Trump's message was unambiguous. He called on Senate Majority Leader John Thune to terminate blue slips immediately, framing it as a necessary step to restore fairness and integrity to the judicial nomination process. By publicly naming Thune, Trump didn't just make a suggestion, he put the full weight of his influence behind the demand, turning up the heat on Republican leadership and making it clear that inaction would not go unnoticed. He argued that the blue slip tradition gives the minority party a powerful tool to block conservative nominees, effectively allowing Democrats to hold up the confirmation process and prevent the courts from reflecting the will of the voters. Trump's post quickly rallied his base, transforming what was once an obscure Senate procedure into a hot-button national political issue. Supporters flooded social media with calls for change, amplifying Trump's message far beyond Washington. He urged his followers to take action, demanding that they contact their senators, attend rallies, and make their voices heard in support of ending the blue slip tradition. This public campaign has put Republican senators in a difficult position. Should they defend a Senate tradition that's been in place for decades, or risk alienating Trump's energized base by resisting his call for change? The blue slip debate has now become a test of party loyalty, institutional values, and the future direction of the Senate itself. Trump's strategy is clear: use the power of public pressure and grassroots activism to force a dramatic change in Senate procedure, hoping to reshape the judiciary for years to come. The outcome of this battle could fundamentally alter the Senate's role in judicial appointments, with consequences that will echo through American politics for a generation. Senate Republicans, including Majority Leader Thune, responded to Trump's demand with caution. There was no rush to embrace his call to end the blue slip. Senators value the tradition. It gives them power, especially when in the minority. Thune faces a dilemma: act against Trump and risk backlash, or move too quickly and alienate colleagues. The memory of past Senate rule changes, like the nuclear option, weighs heavily. Senators know that eroding traditions can backfire when political fortunes shift. Eliminating the blue slip could further polarize the Senate and weaken its norms. For now, Republicans are opting for slow, careful negotiation. The instinct for self-preservation is strong. The real debate is happening behind closed doors, not on social media. The fate of the blue slip will be decided by quiet conversations, not public statements. The blue slip survives because it protects senators' power, regardless of party. Today's obstacle can be tomorrow's shield when the political winds change. The tradition ensures the White House must consult home state senators, giving them a say in federal appointments. Supporters argue this leads to more qualified, locally respected nominees. The blue slip also defends minority party rights, giving even a single senator a voice. Both parties have used it to block opposing presidents' picks. Ending the tradition would mean surrendering a key tool in Senate power struggles. Even those frustrated by gridlock hesitate to give up this leverage. The blue slip is seen as a senatorial, not just partisan tool. Its endurance is rooted in self-interest and the desire to maintain influence. That's why calls to abolish it face resistance from both sides. Critics say the blue slip lets one senator block the president's will, undermining democracy and efficiency. The Constitution gives the Senate as a whole, not two senators, the power to advise and consent. The tradition causes gridlock, leaving courts and U.S. attorney offices understaffed. Abolishing it would speed up confirmations and focus debate on nominees' qualifications. Opponents argue the blue slip is often used for political gamesmanship, not genuine consultation. They see it as an outdated relic that thwarts the results of national elections. Ending the blue slip would make the process more transparent and accountable. For critics, it's time for the Senate to modernize. Supporters say the blue slip is a vital check on executive power and a safeguard for state interests. It forces presidents to consult with home state senators, leading to more moderate, locally attuned nominees. The tradition respects federalism, ensuring states have a say in who serves as judges and prosecutors. It encourages bipartisanship and dialogue, preventing the Senate from becoming a purely majoritarian body. Supporters argue it weeds out unqualified or extreme nominees before they reach a public fight. The blue slip preserves the Senate's unique character and institutional power. Abolishing it would erode the Senate's deliberative traditions. For many, keeping the blue slip is about protecting the Senate's soul. The debate is about more than procedure. It's about the Senate's identity. Trump's call to end the blue slip puts the Senate at a crossroads. If Republicans eliminate it, Trump could quickly fill vacancies, shifting the judiciary rightward. But the long-term impact would be profound. Future Democratic majorities could do the same, deepening polarization. Ending the blue slip would complete the dismantling of Senate confirmation norms, making appointments a matter of majority rule. Preserving the tradition would block some of Trump's nominees, but keep a powerful tool for future Senate minorities. The debate is about more than short-term wins. It's about the nature of power in Washington. The outcome will reveal the Senate's priorities: immediate partisan gain or institutional stability. Whether the blue slip survives or falls, the decision will reshape judicial appointments for years. The court's ideological balance and the administration of justice hang in the balance. The Senate's next move will define its future. We'll be watching closely.